I'm going to hold up the picture of the full band here, and Nicholas, would you introduce the rest?
Certainly. Mr. Paul Antonelli on the lycanthropic chord, my humble self, Nicholas Schreck, on lead vocals, Mr. Evil Wilhelm on percussion, and Mr. James Filth Collard on the bass guitar.
And that's the entire band. I understand.
The four riders of the apocalypse, as your Bible had it.
Explain this a little bit to our viewers.
It's very difficult to explain something of this majesty and glory to mortal minds. But let me say that Radio Werewolf has returned to this world to restore order and obedience upon the masses and lead the lycanthropic legions, the very best, the elite of our people, to glory.
And you call this music neo-Gothic, Gothic?
Other people put names and labels on our music.
You don't put
it. It is
anything.
nameless. It is ineffable.
And
it is eternal.
And your band plays around the United States?
I wouldn't put it in such a casual way. What I would say is the Radio Werewolf movement is spreading across the United States.
We select the appropriate venues and times to expose our music to the masses.
So this is some kind of a plot, huh? Is it a plot?
I wouldn't call it a plot, but it is one of the greatest events in the history of the world.
Plot's a very mortal term, I would say.
Have you been investigated by the federal government?
We are the only government that matters in this world. We are the law. We are order. We are justice. We are the avengers.
And you say you're from old times?
We are as ancient as the most ancient, and we are as new as the future. We are the eternal order of the universe, incarnated upon this miserable world.
And your goal is to what?
We cannot completely reveal our goal at this time, but certain foreshadowings of it have been seen in recent history. If you are scared of Radio Werewolf, then there's something in yourself that you fear.
Is there any possibility of one low like me becoming a member of Radio Werewolf?
We've monitored your activities, Metzger, and there are certain meritable qualities about what you are doing. Therefore, we feel that this is an auspicious time to present you, Thomas A. Metzger, with the official Radio Werewolf Youth Party identification card.
Well, I don't know what to say about this.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a very great privilege.
I hope.
I also command you to wear this, the Radio Werewolf Youth Party badge. Wear it with pride. Wear it with honor. For you are now a part of an elite secret society destined to rule the world.
I like one part of it. It says the Youth Party. And anytime somebody calls me youth, I get excited about that.
There is no age or time involved with Radio Werewolf.
I'll pin this on.
1984 was the beginning of the lycanthropic era. Your human writer George Orwell predicted that in that year a dominant force would come into the world to watch over mankind. He was correct. Perhaps he got a few details wrong.
I see. 1984, that did ring a bell. That did ring a bell there, yes. Now, as you continue, of course, obviously, you're not going to be running for office in the Werewolf Party.
We seek no mortal office. We are already the leaders of the world.
There is no existing office that is high enough to encompass the job that we have in front of us.
We are authority. We are leadership. We have nothing to do with politics. We are the force of destruction that is also creation. From the ashes, a new phoenix is rising.
What do you think of, like...
Much needs to be destroyed.
You know, they would call you a Nazi or a National Socialist.
Labels, words, they mean nothing
to us. A fascist,
or...
We've been put in many categories.
Anarchist, no.
These human games simply do not concern us. Let them name us what they will. You will either join us or be devoured in the bloody path that leads to liberation.
I notice you have your party meetings always start at midnight. Is there anything significant about that?
Traditionally, throughout the history of Radio Werewolf, the witching hour has been the time for the ceremonial will to be conjured.
Well, do you have witches in your group?
Again, you're using mortal words. You may call it witchcraft, you may call it whatever you like. It is beyond human understanding. It simply is.
We have members from all groups, all categories.
Subcultures throughout the world that are despised, damned, hated, they see in us their leader.
Do you believe in werewolves, really? I mean, or is
What
this...
do you think?
I don't know. You know, the Germans had the werewolf division, the young people who fought in the last days of World War II.
Well, the name Radio Werewolf was the very last broadcasting unit in the Third Reich.
Aha, so then they would be correct in calling you neo-Nazi or Nazi.
No, we've simply adopted a name that represents a force of resistance against impossible odds.
I see, so you wouldn't take that title right on as a neo-Nazi or anything. You're saying
the Nazi Party was much too liberal, much too bourgeois. They have never achieved half of what we will do, Mr. Metzger. And we are the agents of that blood.
What do you think will kick this off?
It's already begun.
It's begun?
It's already begun.
It is our mission, as it's always been our mission. We've been here in many incarnations and many times. And we're responsible for what a lot of mortals do call horror and fear.
I noticed on...
When the pattern of human life becomes too stagnant, we return to Earth again.
And in this age, you're using music to a large degree.
Because music is what the media manipulators use for their cynical abuse of our children and of our people.
And to reach the youth.
We're going to take music, the most sacred of all the arts, back into the hands of the true elite.
But do you have a type of philosophy written down?
The scroll of Grimsley, which is available only to the very high devotees of the Radio Werewolf Youth Party, lays down a basic foundation, 25 points that explain what the Radio Werewolf Youth Party is all about.
And does it say what they expect of their followers, their members?
Our criteria for membership are so high we do not allow anyone near Radio Werewolf that does not fit those criteria.
So it's really quite an honor for me to get this pin and this card here.
In fact, I might say this is the greatest highlight of your life, Tom Metzger.
It says to be presented at all Radio Werewolf youth rallies. And that'll get me in. As long as I'm in good standing, huh?
We'll be watching you.
What could I do?
You're now in a probationary period.
What would I do that would get me out of a good standing?
We'll find out.
Yeah, but how do I know? How do I know some of the things I'm doing are not good according to...
It's good to see that you already have doubts about yourself. You're looking at yourself to see that you come up to our standards. I have hope for you.
Should I wear black? Would that help?
Eventually, the black-clad battalions of the Radio Werewolf Youth Party will march through the decaying streets of our world to restore order.
And you think gray must go then?
Gray is a perfectly acceptable color.
Gray and black, and I notice you're quite white. Sort of makes me look like a colored person here.
Well, I didn't say it, sir. You did.
Oh, yes, so anyhow.
Truth has always been opposed, but it has always prevailed.
But your truth maybe won't bring in the money. Their truth brings in the money.
We have no concern with materialism.
That's really something. That's really odd.
It's odd in a world that has fallen to this present standard.
The preachers are merely selling a right to escape death, a substitute for the fear of death. We embrace fear. Death is the ultimate unknown to mortals. We are not afraid of death.
And we want our youth to be fearless as well. Fear is the key to enlightenment.
I see you use fear, words like fear, we use evil, terror, and like this. These seem to be standard
Everything
words.
Considered evil by the human race, perhaps that is what we are, but it is the highest good.
Yes, yes. And Grimsley has been around for a long time.
Under many names, under many guises.
What would he have been under names of in the past that you know?
I'm afraid I can't reveal that at this time. A study of history to an astute mind would probably reveal that better.
Does your members of your party see Grimsley, or does he manifest himself?
We are the voice of Grimsley. He has not manifested himself on this earth.
In a lifetime, one may aspire to the point of communication with Grimsley.
Have you established yourself as a church?
I will reiterate one last time, we have nothing to do with a church or religion.
Isn't this a religion?
It is more than a religion. It is the one way, the one truth,